Kaitlyn,
I'm Molly.
and you're watching or listening to Don't Tell Our Moms.
Don't tell 'em, moms.
If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. We are just two best friends who like to sit and yap.
Mm.
We do different segments. We have some really fun ones this week. We have started to do kind of where we theme our topics every week now. So, topics this week and all of our segments are going to be based around dating. We are both very happily married, but there was a time when we were out in them streets.
For sure. Sometimes the episodes will be random, but I like a theme.
Yeah. And it just helps us too when we're trying to have a good transition of talking points of it all to be based around kind of the same topic. But there will be episodes, probably even weeks, where we're just like, have a brain fart. We're like, you know what? Let's
Mhm.
just get on here and just talk
Just
about
talk.
random.
Yeah.
So,
But speaking of dating, your shirt is perfect for the dating episode today.
however, this shirt is not sexual. I do actually just really love a hot dog.
She loves a hot
I
dog. Me
love a
too.
hot dog. Yes. I'm an all American girl when it comes to that. There's not many things in this in life that a hot dog can't fix. Not many problems in my life. So,
I
yeah.
love a hot dog. All my friends know this. I just love a hot dog.
I do too.
Like, I don't even need a bun. There's been times when I've came home after having a few drinks, and I just put not raw, I'll cook them, like, in the pan, but just bare weenies on a plate
Yes.
and just dip it in mustard and eat it
And
like a caveman.
also, it's a struggle meal, but hot dogs and macaroni and cheese
I still
slap.
because I'm very
With a
picky.
crescent roll,
I'm very picky about my mac and cheese, but, like, I like the Annie's in the box. That's
mhm.
the only mac and cheese with powder that I'll eat is Annie's. Everything else has to be the squeezy cheese. But Annie's white cheddar mac and cheese with hot dogs, so good.
And
So good.
obviously, I prefer a regular size weenie, but the little weenies, like pigs in a blanket, chef's kiss.
Before I know this is dating episode, but we're on the weenie track right now. I do not come at me with a red hot dog. It has to be brown. It has to be brown or nothing.
No.
Like, I do not
But,
want a red weenie.
nothing is better though than when you're at a cookout and there's hot dogs, but there's also when you get like, you're not expecting it because maybe it's already dressed,
Mhm.
but when you unexpectedly get a sausage dog.
Oh, I
Oh,
love
I
with, like,
love.
onions and peppers.
Oh,
So good.
yes. Oh, that was kind of a weird moan for. Anyways, talking about glizzies.
Yeah.
But so Molly got us these shirts, and I love it. It's very me.
It is.
It's very me
And mine says, "You can call me ranch because I be dressing
with raccoons.
with raccoons."
So
So,
yeah, but I will wear this shirt.
oh, yeah.
I'll wear this. We'll wear this to the thrift store together to shop
No shame.
at antique on the
No
weekend.
shame.
No shame.
Yeah,
Do not care.
this is a new closet staple.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know if I'd wear this to work on Casual Friday, but
I think you should. You might get a few more new customers in.
it's true. Well, we also like to start off because a lot of me and Molly talk every day. We like to take it's kind of nice because we take this minute to just
Mhm.
reflect and be like, "Hey, how was your week?" So let's just kick it off. How was this week for you?
It's pretty good. I was in a mood yesterday for, like, no reason
She was.
other than, like, work was really busy yesterday.
It has been busy
Uh,
this week.
this fun little fact about me is I have the wonderful pleasure of getting to work from home, but my position, I don't have set hours that I work. I don't answer phones. I just kind of work on my own schedule.
Yeah.
And having that freedom, most days I'm like done by 1 o'clock, depending on what time I start. But yesterday I worked until like 4 o'clock. So I was pissed at the world. If I have to work past like 1 or 2, I'm pissed. And so I was mad because of that. It was busy. I was so overstimulated. So I was just in a mood yesterday.
Yeah.
But then I ordered $40 worth of Chinese food. I sat on my couch and ate it while playing Animal Crossings and watching my show. And I felt better.
All was right in the world.
It was.
She did. We were texting back and forth, and she we're so alike in so many ways. We were just kind of texting back and forth, and I can always tell like if Molly's being short, it's either because she's just busy, and the same with
Mhm.
me. Like I'm just busy, or I'm like okay, she's probably just having a rough day. And so she texted me. She was like, "Sorry, I'm just so overstimulated right now."
So
And I text her back and I said, "When I tell you that sometimes I can't even fathom my own amount of rage that I feel when I get overstimulated." And she was like, "Exactly. You get it."
I feel like I could like when I'm so overstimulated, I just want to like Kool-Aid man through a brick
Yes.
wall, just like
Yes.
Hulk it through a brick
Yes.
wall. But I ate my Chinese food and then I felt better. I got scheduled a new tattoo appointment. It's in February, but I got that scheduled because my artist stays pretty booked out because
You've been
they're
getting a lot of tattoos lately. I'm here for it.
yeah, my artist is great, so they stay pretty booked. So I got that scheduled for February.
I can't wait. But of all of the things me and Molly have done together, we do not have matching tattoos.
Mm.
That is wild. I just thought about that. You can't see all of ours, or I have some. My husband jokes I have them on my wrist, and he calls them my prison tats, the ones that are on my wrist. I do want to get these covered up, but yeah, you wouldn't know it necessarily. Even sometimes just looking at me and Molly, like if we were fully covered, but we both have tattoos all over the
Yeah, I hate when
place.
it's cold
So.
weather because then I'm like, people don't know how cool I am that I'm like actually covered in tattoos, but people don't know that when it's cold, so I get pissed off.
Well, and we got tattoos very young. I
Yeah.
think actually almost all of my tattoos that I have got by the time I got my first tattoo when I was 15.
Hmm.
My mom let me get my nose and my belly button pierced. She didn't care about piercings, but she's never been a huge crazy fan of tattoos. And so, but my dad, I had my belly button pierced, and I went and stayed with him for spring break, and I didn't think about it. And I we were going somewhere that had a pool, and I was in a bikini, and he was like, "Who's looking at your belly button? Why do you need that in your belly button?" So he was pissed that my mom let me get my belly button pierced. So, you know what his solution was? He knew my mom did not like tattoos,
Mm.
and I wanted a tattoo, and so he was like, "Haven't you been did you say you wanted a tattoo?" So I got a tramp
There we go.
stamp at 15 years old. My sister Christy took me to get it, and my dad signed, like, because he was my legal guardian, so he signed off on it. And yeah, I have a tramp
Incredible.
stamp that says La Bella Vita, which is life is beautiful in Italian. But I forget sometimes that, like, the ones I can't see that I
Yeah.
have them, like, I have my whole, like, side is done for my dad, and then I have a crown, this the crown royal crown, on the back of my neck,
Classy shit.
and it has princess in pink underneath it in Italian. I went through a phase. Okay, we're not going to talk about
Mhm.
it, but I was obsessed with. I wanted to be Italian. I was just a phase that I went through. I was obsessed with everything Italian. So it has princess. So I forget sometimes, and I had to go get something. I had to go get measured for something, and for Mardi Gras. So I went and got measured, and the seamstress or who does like the altering, forget that I have it there. She was like, "That crown is so cute," and I was like, "What?" Like I forget
Yeah.
it's back there, and she
Oh,
was like, "I love
absolutely.
that crown, girl. It's so cute." And I was like, "Oh yeah, thank you."
No, I also have a tramp stamp, but it's like the back of my hair. What's back there ain't none of my
Yep,
business. That ain't
yep,
none of my business.
yep.
So,
But I will every now and then, like, I'll catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror, and I'll be like, I have my whole side is tattooed." Like I forget it, like that
yeah.
it's there because I don't ever see it. But
But yeah, I was pissy yesterday, got over that, scheduled a tattoo appointment, did some work today. Today was fine.
yeah.
Today was good. And now I'm here filming with you.
So I was so excited and talked about being able to let Veronica out. I kind of jinxed myself in the last episode. Yeah. So my work Christmas party was supposed to be was Saturday night, and I don't know what happened, but I woke up Saturday. It was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and it hit me, and my head was in a toilet the whole day. But I was trying to rally so hard because I have extreme FOMO, and I love anything like, I love socializing. My husband's the same way, like, we're both social butterflies, and so I was, like, already had extreme FOMO of even thinking about missing it, and so I was, like, I couldn't keep anything down. My husband went and tried to get me something for lunch that was, like, to settle my stomach, immediately came back up. So I'm like chugging Gatorade, I'm staying hydrated, like I'm doing all of the things. I took a couple naps and was like, we weren't going to dinner till like 6:30. So I was like, all right, I will be fine by then. So like 4:30ish rolls around, or like it was like the Bama game had started. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna take a quick nap and see if I feel better when I wake up, and I'll try to eat something again, some crackers or something. And so I got a shower. I was in the shower, was like fully prepared. May or may not have gotten sick in the shower.
The worst.
Yep. But I was still in my mind was like, okay, I was like rationalizing with myself. All right, I'm going to text my boss and just tell her, hey, it's not going to be weird, not to make it weird or anything. And I'm not being rude. I'm probably just going to order like a small plate. And I'm very open about it. Like I'm on the shot. And so I was like, everyone will just think maybe I took like my shot within the last couple days. Cause it's like, they know when I take my shot. they'll think I took my shot and they'll just think like, "Okay, Ozempic queen, not eating, so full." But I
Shannon.
knew I would not be able to handle alcohol, and so I was like
Yeah, that would
that
not be a good idea.
I wouldn't have been able to, like, have, played it off like they know I love a good martini,
Yeah.
so it would have been just weird or whatever, and so do you know the scene from Bridesmaids where they're in the bridal shop and
Mhm.
she's like, "Do you wanna" what is, like, the Andes mint or whatever? And
Yeah.
she's like, "Do you want a mint?" And she's like, "I would love a mint."
I just love
So,
it.
my husband comes I'm at the vanity trying to do my makeup, and he said, "I mean this with so much love. You look like shit. No, like, Caitlin, you have to call it. It's okay. Like, it's 1 year.
That's
There'll
still
be so many
so
more Christmas parties." It was
sad. That
so sad.
sucks.
I was like, "No." We were arguing back and forth. I was like, "No, I will make it." And then he was like, "Caitlin." All right, because he doesn't have anxiety about certain things, and it's like social anxiety when it comes to certain things. So he was like, "What are you gonna do if we're at the restaurant and we're all just sitting there having a good time
And
and
you
it
just
hits you
vom.
and you just throw up all over the table or on the way to the bathroom?" Like,
He was stressing
no.
for
He
you.
was stressing for me. And it was so funny, like, how much my coworkers and everyone, like, I work with love Randy, and, like I said, he's a social butterfly. So I call my boss and I tell her, and of course I was like crying and I was upset like before I called her and I was like, I gotta get it together. And so I called her and was like, "Hey, I just need to let you know I'm so, so sorry." Like she knew like it had to be bad if I
Yeah, for
wasn't
you to miss the
coming to
party.
like a party. She was like, "I'm so sorry. Like it sucks so bad. We're gonna miss you so much." But I completely understand. Like it's fine. Like you can't help it. Whatever. Then I immediately just put my PJs on and I got back in the bed. They were all sitting in the group chat where they were like, "So we've been sitting here like trying to contemplate how to like tell you, but like Brady's still invited." Then I told my husband, I was like, "Go." Like he knows all of them.
Yeah.
I've worked where I work for going on 4 years. They all know him and love him. And so they were like, we were like trying to figure out how to, without being like around your feelings, like we miss you so
We
much,
still want
but also
Randy.
can Randy come? Can he still come?
That's
Because
so sad.
so he didn't. He went and he got me all of the things from the store, which he was sulking the whole night because of the game. And of course, I took a nap a couple weekends ago when Alabama lost, and so my
Mhm.
husband was like, "You're not allowed to take a nap again." I naturally took a nap, so of course, us losing the
It
game
was your
was
fault.
because I was sick and took a nap. You know,
Dang.
we're past that now. So yeah, that was Saturday, and then I just didn't really do much this week. I did some me and my boss did some volunteer hours yesterday at Feeding the Gulf Coast. So that was
Nice.
super cool. So we like to do all kinds of things in the community and give
Mhm.
back in any way that we can. So that was really, really cool that I got to do that this week.
Yeah, I love that.
So yeah, it's just been a whirlwind and I'm just getting ready to the next couple of days get myself together to go back home to visit this
Yeah,
weekend.
I was just thinking as you were saying that, like, we have such a busy rest of December for us because between holidays and traveling and renovations that we're doing, planning the Christmas episode that we're doing, which we'll kinda do a little spoiler alert that our Christmas special that will be what, next week?
Yeah, so we'll record next week, Thursday or Friday. And so we're gonna do our it'll be like a Christmas special. So we're
Mhm.
gonna do a 2-hour episode because we won't release anything. There won't be an episode coming out the
The week after
week after
Christmas, yeah.
Christmas. Everything coming up
Me
the next
too.
couple weekends.
Me too.
Yeah, it was a good week all around.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yep,
Glad to hear that.
was. Well, if you're just tuning in, one of our segments that we'll have every week is we have hot takes that we do. And so I'm going to let Molly go first on this one.
I think this one might surprise you a little bit, to be
Okay.
honest. We'll see if it
And
surprises
these
you.
are our hot takes on dating.
Yeah.
And also, quick disclaimer, if you haven't ever listened to us before, I think it was like episode 2, we fully put it out there that these are our hot takes.
Mhm.
They're called hot takes for a reason. Sometimes they're controversial. There are personal beliefs and how we feel about these things. We're not judging if you live your life this way. We're not. I mean, but it's just how we personally feel. So it's not meant to offend anyone,
Mhm.
but it's just our personal beliefs. So just quick
Yeah.
disclaimer there.
Yeah, a good note. So, my first dating hot take is that if all parties are consenting, okay, know about it, I don't think like monogamy has to be the standard for dating.
Yeah.
I really don't. That's just what society has, like, made normal. But, I mean, honestly, if everyone in the relationship is okay with it and they know about it, like, please make sure that they know
Yeah.
and are consenting. Like, you don't have to be monogamous. I've always thought that that's just not taboo. Maybe I'm the weird one for thinking that, but
No,
that's a hot take for me.
it works for some people, and
Yeah,
trust me, there are times where, honey, I coulda used a sister wife.
but like,
There's lots of
I
times where I'm
mean,
like, "You know what?
I could use 2 of
I could
me.
use 2 of
Yeah,
me." Yeah. For me personally, it would not work in
right.
my relationship, but also too because I think about Randy, where I'm a lot to handle anyways, but I don't know that it would work for me personally because I would
Right.
just yeah, no,
Yeah,
but
like, I don't think that I ever could just because I couldn't imagine sharing my spouse with someone, but then again, like, I'm not dating, so I don't know. I don't think it could be for me, but I don't think it's, like, weird or shameful
no,
like a lot of people view it
no.
that, like, if you don't wanna be monogamous and everyone's fine with it, and no, like, don't be monogamous.
Yeah. I think that it to me personally, like, and everything, like, because there's actually, like, several, like, poly families and stuff on TikTok
Yeah.
that I've gone on rabbit holes. Personally, from what I've seen, I don't think it works, like, great when people are married. I think that, like, when I watch these where it's, like, dating
Mm.
or, like, maybe not children involved, um
Yeah, because that definitely complicates the situation
yes, like,
more.
all of the ones that I have watched in the families, and there's one I think that's even on TLC, that they actually got a show out of it, like, it always ends badly
Yeah.
when there's marriages, like, existing marriages involved, and then there's, like, children or, like, children that are had within the poly relationship, and they
Mhm.
don't know which one is the parent, like because I think you also have to take into account for that, where I'm a huge advocate for children, where, yeah, that's a choice that you're making, but I don't think that it's your child doesn't have a choice in that, and I don't think that they think about the implications of how that could affect their children. Yes, it's
Yeah.
more people to love your children, but it's also, like, you're not thinking about how your child doesn't know who's their parents. Like, I think it would cause, like, identity issues sometimes maybe in the children.
I can
That's
see
just me personally, like
No, I can see what you mean.
yeah.
But I mean, I think too, maybe for some people it does work. I mean, if and that's the thing. That's like you mentioned this in another episode before. If what you're doing works for you and it is not harming anybody else, just do it.
I'm all
Like,
I'm all let your
do it,
freak flag fly,
please.
please. It has nothing to do with me. Like,
No.
even if I have just because it would never work in my marriage
Right.
or my relationship, if it works in yours, because there are things that we do in we how we live our lives, me and Molly. I mean, like, there are people who maybe probably think the way that
Mhm.
we are with our spouses or the lot like me and Molly don't have children. And so that for a lot of people is like they can't wrap their mind around that we still are able to have fulfilling lives without children. That's a whole
Mhm.
nother hot take for a whole
Yeah,
nother episode.
for sure.
But we do. We both have very fulfilling lives with or without children.
So
Yep.
that's my first one.
That was a good one.
Thanks. Go
Yeah.
ahead with your first one.
Okay. My first hot take, and it's because I've actually lived it and experienced it. So, my first hot take is that when you are dating someone and you intertwine them with your lives, with your family, with your friends, um, I don't think that it's fair, especially if you are the one who maybe did something to cause hurt or to cause the relationship to end. I don't think that it is fair to expect everyone else to no longer have that person in their life or not
Mm.
have a relationship with them.
Mhm.
And I have a tell on this, and Molly knows she's one of my dearest friends now. I love her. She was a bridesmaid in my wedding. Um, so when I first moved here to Mobile, I was not hadn't dating was not on my mind at all. I was just trying to figure myself out and the shock of me uprooting my life and moving here and at 22 years old. But I by chance, I met someone a couple months into me living here, and we started hanging out, started and it was not online dating, we actually met through my job. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, we met through my job, and he knew that I didn't know anyone here, and he was like, "Hey, if you ever want someone to show you around, okay, like, just hit me up." Like, he was a really cool guy, but we started dating. we weren't in a relationship on Facebook, I guess. Is
You
that
were
what, like,
just
makes it official? We were
cash.
casual,
Yeah.
and because we both gotten out of relationships with, like, our high school sweethearts, so we were just casually dating, but it kinda started to get I mean, it was he would started staying at my apartment. I met his family, his whole family. He was planning on going back home to meet my family. I mean, to me, it was getting serious, but still not like, you know, we weren't, like, planning a wedding or anything. But in the process of that, I fell in love with his mom. His mom is fantastic. And his childhood best friend since kindergarten, his wife, we would go on double dates all the time.
Mm.
We spent, I mean, if the guys were hanging out, they'd go fishing, they'd go do stuff together. Her and I would go shopping for the day. And like she knew, like, I didn't have this was before Molly moved here. I don't even think you had met Jackie yet because this was like April-ish, May. So
Yeah.
like I don't even know that her and Jackie had met yet. He had broken up with his high school sweetheart had broken up with him. She broke his heart. And I guess word got around to her that he was dating someone else. And she was like, No, not going to work for me." She reached out to him. She wrote him a letter. Cracks me up now that I think about it because she wrote him a
Like
letter.
UPS, like
She wrote him a letter.
USPS
I don't know.
mail?
I think she gave it to like a mutual friend to give to him, but she wrote him a letter and like poured her heart out to him and was like, you don't know what you got till it's gone type stuff. Anyways, and also just we were 22 and I think he was 24. Like we were young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he decided to get back with her
Mm.
and broke up with me out of the blue. Like ended it abruptly. Brought all my stuff to my apartment and just left it on the doorstep and was like, "Have a nice life." And his best friend's wife and his mother told him, "We Hey, it's your choice to make. However, you made us fall in love with her and she's a fantastic girl. We're not just going to cut her off. She has no family here. She has no friends here. She became intertwined with your life and with us and we love her and she's not going anywhere in our eyes. Sorry." Her and I are still friends to this day. And like I said, she was a
Mhm.
bridesmaid in my wedding to my husband now. So that just proves that, like, I don't know. I've also been on the flip side of it, where I was friends with people for a long time in a past relationship, very close to people. And when that relationship ended, granted, I lived here. I was in Mobile living here at the
Yeah.
time. So I wasn't back home. So maybe it would have been different if I was back home and could have been different. I don't know. But
Probably not.
was very, very close to a lot of people. And a handful of them still keep up with me. It didn't change anything. But for the most part, overnight, these people that had been part of my life for so long, I was a stranger to them. I get it. There's sides that you have to choose, and they were all friends with that person before. So I got it. And now that I'm older, I did get it. But it didn't make it any easier to just be a complete stranger to these people that were such a big part of your life for so long.
No, but that's the crazy thing. I mean, when you're younger, you feel like you have to take a side like that, but as an adult, you don't have to choose a side.
No,
Like, can't be mature enough to be like, "Hey, I'm not choosing a side. I'm still gonna be friends with both of you
yeah. Because
guys."
there were even some people that were
That's
like,
weird.
"Hey, I love you guys both individually, but I don't love y'all together."
Mhm.
And like a couple of those people came to my wedding. They did. They shout out to them, you know who you are. They came to my wedding.
If you left Randy, I would still be his friend.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Jackie, like I lived with them. Like
Mhm.
I am close to like Jackie's family. Like I'm intertwined in that too. So like I even feel like me and Molly. Like, there are boundaries, so it's not like I constantly just bring these people up to her, but there are girls that I'm still keep up with on social media that tell me happy birthday every year, the same for them. I've watched them get married, I've watched them have, like, children, like, there are girls that Molly dated in the past, and for me, the same, where it's like, if it ended on good terms and that just kind
Mm,
of fizzled out, those girls did nothing to me, and
right.
so, like, I'm not, like, hitting them up to hang out all the time or anything out of respect for Jackie and Molly, but, like, I'm not gonna be ugly to them, and
Yeah.
I don't but and every now and then, I'll just be like we'll be thinking about a memory or something and talking about something like, "Oh, hey, so and so, we're still friends on Facebook or Instagram, and she is doing so good, and she got
I
this
love that.
degree, or she got married, or she had a baby," or, like, Molly is the type of person, she was like, "I love that for her, like,
Mhm.
I'm so, so glad, like, that's awesome," but
Good
I
for
just
him.
don't think that as adults that unless it was, of course, like, obviously, if the other person just blew up their whole life
Yeah, yeah.
and
There's
yeah,
there's like, kinda rules to that, like you said, if it was amicable and not, like, a really vile situation, then yeah.
Yeah, and that was also too, like, even, like, if that or two, if that person gets in a relationship with someone else afterwards, you also don't have to be weird towards their new partner, like, even if you were friends with their ex, you don't have to be weird towards a new partner, they didn't do anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
So,
let me find out Jackie's got a new partner, I'm gonna be real weird.
yeah, no, Imma be honest with you, like, I think I would I think I would. Same with Randy, like, if me and Randy got divorced and he had a new girlfriend, Molly would be like, "No."
Like,
So,
I am a girl's girl, but
but yeah, my first hot take.
I like it, that's a good one.
Alright, I feel like we're getting hotter as they go along. What you got next?
I'll keep this one kinda short, but like you kind of prefaced, I don't have kids, so maybe I shouldn't speak on it, but I'm gonna just because it's an opinion of mine. I think that if you are casually dating, so seeing, people here and there, multiple people just casually, maybe don't bring every single one home to meet your child.
No.
Because for a lot of reasons, like a lot of reasons, but the number 1 is probably real confusing, but, like, number 2, the biggest thing, you don't people are weird nowadays, like, people
Yeah.
are so weird.
You don't truly know
No.
someone. I mean,
Like I said,
no.
like, you find stuff out about someone when you're living with them. Like, you're still finding stuff out about people when you're living together. So, like, if you're ca that's my hot take. If you were just casually dating people, maybe, like, wait to introduce your kids to
Like,
them.
for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if it's the same person, and you've seen each other however many times, things are going well, y'all kinda wanna start getting a little bit more serious, yeah, sure, but, like, if you're going on a few dates a month, you don't have to let them come
Yeah,
in
your
and
kid
meet.
shouldn't be calling somebody else daddy every
Yeah.
6 months.
So, like, if you're, bringing every date into the living room to meet your kid every few months, we probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, not even with just with dating, but the one thing that my parents were after they got divorced and they both got remarried within the same like, not within a year, but, like, they actually got remarried within, like, I think a few months of each other.
Mm,
The one thing that my parents were always on the same page about when it came to discipline of us kids, I will say this, so, to an extent, I couldn't just wreak havoc in like, we moved in with my stepdad when him and my mom got married, so I couldn't just go around wreaking havoc in his house, and I was a real bratty preteen and teenager, and
mhm.
I will admit that as an adult now, like, I pushed back a lot on that. See, I could have been a lot nicer back then and just realized, like, he was just trying to be a stepdad. We had moved in to my stepdad's house, and my mom was still working nights at the hospital, and so me and my little brother were at the dinner table, and we were acting a fool, we were, and so my stepdad he just got on to us, like, and he was just like, "Hey, like, you need to chill it out," or whatever, and I think I was taunting my little brother, so he specifically got on to me. Even as an adult now, like, I can take constructive criticism because I think every adult should be able to, but if you even now, like, if I feel like I'm in trouble or you're getting on to me, just childhood trauma. If you're getting on to me, I will just start crying,
Yeah.
and I'm very hyper emotional. He did not lay a hand on me, but the fact that he just, like, got on to me and I was like, "You're not my dad." And so what did I do? I went down in my bedroom and I locked the door and I got the our house phone and I called
Mhm.
my dad and I was, like, so hysterical on the phone. All I told him was that my stepdad had gotten on to me, but I guess because, like, in my crying and, like, he couldn't understand me, I think he thought that I said my stepdad hit me, and, like, my dad, he was very old school, like, he'd give you an ass whooping quick. My dad he was upset, so I'll never forget it. He said, "Hang up the phone right now. I'm calling your house phone back. Do not pick up the phone." So it rang, and I heard my stepdad upstairs answer the phone. And to this day, I do not know what my dad said, but I did click over at one point being nosy and clicked at the
I
phone.
would've too.
And I just remember hearing my dad say, "I've been to jail once. I need you to know." It was very colorful words. "I ain't
Yeah.
scared to go back, especially by my kids." My dad was a crash out before being he was the OG crash out. He was
Well,
the C and Craig's to the crash out. So he did not play about his kids. And he even told
did you ever tell your dad that, like,
Yeah, no, he did. So they talked about it. So I was like, he didn't hit me. And so then my dad said I ended up getting in trouble because then my stepdad, I guess, was like, well, hey, like here was he like explained the situation. And my dad was like, put her back on the phone.
Jeez, like, you just made me cuss this
Yeah.
man all the
Put her
way
back on the
out.
phone. Put her back on the phone. So I get back on the phone and I'm, hey, daddy. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I know that's right. That's what you get for
Mhm.
getting on to me. My daddy just went off on you. And my dad was like, you can't be playing like that. He was like, I had my keys in my hand because my dad lived an hour and a half away. So he was like, I had my keys in my hand. I was ready to come like die about my baby. I get on the phone and he was like, did you say this or whatever? And I was like, well, yes, sir. So I got in trouble. He was like, let me tell you
You
something.
know what? That's a little valid that you got in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah. My dad told me, and him and my mom ended up having a whole conversation around this. He told my mom, no other man will ever put his hands on my children, and any discipline needs to go through you and I. And if I need to come down there and handle them, I'm a phone call away. My dad was not someone who was like, talked about emotions or anything like that, but he told me at the end of the day, he is providing for you guys what I can't as your dad right now. So while you're in his house, you will respect him. And if your mom tells me you're doing otherwise, we're going to have a major problem.
I will never forget, there was a time with my stepdad who, if you've ever met him, he is very, very soft-spoken.
Yes.
He doesn't yell. He's very level-headed man. Well, my sister and I were fighting, like, we were throwing
Oh,
punches that
Molly
day,
and
like,
Sarah used to physically
yeah,
fight each other.
we were throwing punches that day, and I think mom was at work and he was home that day, but we had probably been fighting all day. Well, we started physically fighting in the kitchen, but that house, it was like there was like a side
It
door.
was huge.
There was like a side door off of the kitchen that went out to like a breezeway. Well, we started fighting in the kitchen, but somehow made it out that side door onto like the breezeway, and we were like just laying into each other. I
Yeah.
mean, just
I can see it now.
wailing on each other. And he bust open that kitchen side door and he goes, "That's enough." And we just like froze
Oh, yeah.
because like that was the first time we had ever heard him above like a few decibels because he's just a
He
quiet,
is.
like
He's very soft
soft-spoken man.
spoken.
So like hearing him yell, I was
Yeah. I've only ever heard Steve yell
like
in almost 20 years,
yeah,
like maybe
just
three
a few
times.
times.
And every single time
It
I
like
was
takes
like,
you back.
it takes you back because even when he would get on to us about something, it would still be in like the most
Yeah, like
chill, like, all right, now your mom didn't like Santa done told y'all you need to quiet down.
yeah. I was so mad that day, like, how dare he tell me what to do, but, like, looking back, I'm like, he shoulda yelled because we were just wailing on each other, and that
Yeah.
was the only way he could have gotten our attention was by screaming, but I was so mad, I was like, "How dare he yell at me?" But, like, now I'm like, he should have beat our ass because we were beating each other then,
Yeah.
but
If anything, Steve would Steve would ride for y'all. Like
mhm.
Sandy would just be in their ass about something. Steve would be like, all right, now, Sandy, it ain't that
They
serious.
ain't
Like,
doing
they
nothing.
ain't doing nothing.
Like,
Like, yeah, Steve would like, he would ride for us.
I love him.
Like, yeah,
He's a good dad.
he is a good dad. We love you, Steve.
Love ya. I think that was my got a little sidetracked, but that was
Yeah,
my
sorry,
second segment.
I kinda took over the hot take a little bit,
That's
but
so
it's just
fun.
because when you were saying like, talking about that, like, with kids, because my parents were also like, that was a big thing with them, was, like, who was around us, like, not having people around,
Mhm.
like, their kids and stuff. Well, I'll keep my second hot take short.
Okay.
Um, my second hot take is, and this is I'm speaking to maybe, either girls who are younger and are still dating or girls our age
Yeah.
that are still dating. I know that for a long time has been a societal norm that sets a time limit on when you should get married and when you should have children. I got married 3 days after my 27th birthday, and I remember feeling like an old maid because all of my friends were married. It's funny. All right. I even was joking, was like, fuck, Molly's married.
If this hoe can settle down, what's
Molly's,
going on?
they just made it legal for her to get married a few years ago, and she's already damn married.
I jumped on it.
So,
That's great.
I remember being like, "Freaking Molly got married before me."
Molly, settle down.
And so you just have to know the Midland City. I was always like I was like steadily looking for committed relationships. So yeah,
Yeah, okay, most of the time that well, a lot of the time that Kayla and I lived together in the house,
I
you
was
were
in a
kind of
relation.
like on you were
Yeah,
in a
on and get
relationship
off
because you
again.
were on
Yeah.
again, off again with said person, but I was like, "I don't even want you to stay the night. Just
Yeah.
just like,
All right, so
bye."
not to get I'm having fun with this though, so not to get too sidetracked, but I told my husband this the other night and he died laughing when I said this. Molly kind of touched on a little bit about like she joked about it being like her hoe phase in the Midland City house,
Oh, it was, and
but
I'm not ashamed to say that
no,
because
no. And it ties into my
it
hot
does. It
take.
ties into your hot take because this was my time that I was able to find out who I was and what I liked, didn't like, what I would tolerate and not tolerate. Like that was the time that I found out so much about myself, and it was my early 20s. And that's one like young girls, if they are listening, it doesn't have to be a hoe phase. You don't have to sleep around, but like just explore, like see people, meet people, do new things, like find yourself. And that is exactly what I did in that house. And I'm not ashamed of it. My wife knows about
No.
it. I talk openly about it. I joke and call it my hoe phase, but I was just having a good time
Mhm.
being a young 20 something year old woman living with a best friend.
And you know what my perspective is on it? I did a whole lot of dating before I met my husband, so I don't feel the need to date while I'm with my husband.
Right.
Anybody else.
Yeah. Out of our system.
Got it out of my system. I don't feel the need to date
Mm,
in my marriage.
mm,
I would not trade it for anything because I I lived I know what it feels like to live by myself. I think that's why I do so well with my husband working out of town because I did live by myself for a long time. And I found out so much about myself and changed so much as a person before and matured before I met my husband that I just think that there's absolutely nothing wrong. I know people who are married to their high school sweethearts and are still completely obsessed with each other and that is their soulmate. So I'm not shitting on that.
yeah.
Uh, I do believe that everyone has a soulmate and sometimes you meet them when you're 15, 16 years old and you grow together and not apart. But I do feel like that you don't have to feel rushed is all I'm saying.
No.
Uh,
We are conditioned as a society to have that timeline for ourselves, and I'm guilty of it. We all are. Like comparison is the thief of joy, but there's not like a timeline for anything in your life, whether it be like
no.
marriage or school, a career or whatever. There are people who decide to one day get sober in their 50s and change their entire life,
Yeah, you're
or
never too old to start over.
no, and,
You're
like, if
not.
you wanna go to school and start a brand new career in your 40s, like, do it. Like, I struggle with that for a long time because friends that I or people that I was friends with in high school, we took a very different path. I ended up dropping out of high school, and they went to college, and I did college later in life, and so for me, for a long time, like, I struggled with that, just, like, comparing my timeline with theirs, and it's a thief of joy. But, like, now that I'm older, I realize like, everyone's timeline is so different and they're always gonna look different. So, don't compare your timeline to anyone else's. Don't rush it. Just, like, enjoy it. Enjoy the ride and let it be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I also want to say, so not a lot of people know that about me and Molly, but me and Molly both dropped out of high school and we got judged a lot for
Mhm.
that, for dropping out of high school. But it's funny because a lot of the people that judge me for dropping out of high school,
They don't make as much money as we do.
no, they don't. That really went off on a tangent, but
That's what we do.
that's what we do. So, look, mom, do tell our moms that even though we quit high school,
Doing
we're
great.
doing pretty damn good now.
Doing great. We're
Doing
wearing
great.
wearing T-shirts with hot dogs and raccoons on them.
Telling the world about our poops.
Our poop. All right. We're doing a fun little segment this week. And we reached out to some of you guys and got a few really bad date stories. Not
Yes.
necessarily like first dates, but just like really bad off the wall date stories. So we're going to read a few of this for you guys now. So I'm going to read this one off my phone. So if you see me looking down, that's why. When I was in school, I met a girl at a party. We hit it off really well and decided to exchange numbers. So we texted and called for about 2 weeks and decided we had a lot in common, but had not really committed to going out. We talked about it, but neither of us wanted to say, hey, let's do it. I ended up meeting her older siblings that I also had a lot in common with. Well, we were all hanging out and they brought up a concert that was coming up. I said I wanted to go, but needed to find a ride. Fast forward to the weekend after the concert, my aunt picked me up from my house. I hadn't seen her in a couple months, so she's asking me what I've been up to. I proceeded to tell her about this concert I just went to. I liked weird music, so I thought it would be cool to meet some cousins that also liked the same stuff I did. Well, it turns out I went to the concert with my cousins, and that's how I almost ended up dating my first cousin, and I never dated or even spoken to a white girl since. So his aunt was like, "Oh, that's funny. Your cousins just went to a concert too." And like that's how he found out he almost dated his first cousin. So that's my
But I also like how he ended it was like, and that's why I don't date white girls anymore.
yeah, because it can be a mix up again.
Oh my
That's so
God.
funny. I read that and I was like, immediately, yes. Like, imagine meeting a person, being like, "Oh, they're cool. We're gonna go to a concert
Yeah.
with like, you and some of your friends," and then you fast forward and see your aunt, and then, "Oh, your cousin just went to a concert too." It's your cousin.
Man. And things usually get weird at concerts. So,
Well,
well,
all right,
all right.
read me what you got.
Okay. So this one cracked me up because I deeply personally know who this is about. But again, it's anonymous. Okay. On our second date, we went tubing down Backwater River. Totally went unprepared. I only brought a case of beer and maybe some granola bars. We were way out in the woods, and he said, "Do you know how to get home?" I said, "Hell yeah, of course." Then promptly dumped out 10 to 12 empty beer cans and hopped in the car. He was terrified and sunburned as hell. We made it to Publix where we got subs and sushi. And he had this homeless looking woman that kept coming up behind him and hovering over his back, yelling at the Publix workers, "Is this fresh?" while picking out sushi. I kept cackling because clearly I'm also sunburnt and had had a few beers. He also got some Ollipops, and he didn't know that they have 5% of your daily fiber in each can. He drank 3 to 4 of them and then spent the rest of the night in the bathroom, absolutely wrecking it, completely sunburnt. They are now married, happily
Incredible.
in love and married.
I mean, you got to be careful with that stuff that's got fiber. Like a fiber one brownie, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
You'll poop your pants. Ask me how I know. Like 5 in one day.
What?
They were so good, the brownie ones, and I didn't know that they were I mean, I knew they had fiber, but not like that. I regretted that.
Mm-mm. No.
Okay. So, I've got another one for us from a friend,
Yep.
keeping it anonymous. So, she meets a guy on Tinder, and things are going well, clearly. He asked her to go back to his house. He lives with his brother, but she goes over there and stays with him at his brother's house, and they hook up. Things are well. She's gonna stay the night. Well, she rolls over to close her eyes and go to sleep. And right when her eyes are closed and she's about to go to sleep, she hears a blow dryer turn on full speed. Like turns over to find this grown man with a hair dryer turned on full speed, just pointed at his genitalia in the bed.
Like under the covers?
Under the covers, full speed, pointed at his genitalia. And the poor thing, bless her heart, did not sleep all night because she was worried that she would be a victim of a house fire. And I don't think that they ever spoke of that or spoke to each other again because what do you say? First of
Yeah.
all, what do you say to that? Like I have heard of like my strange addiction, like people sleeping with a blow dryer for comfort. It's still
I've
weird.
never heard of that
No, I
before.
have. It's weird, but like right on your genitalia, that gets hot if you hold it like too close to your scalp when you're
Yeah.
blow
I
drying your
just like
hair.
take a break between blow dry my hair because it gets hot.
But yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. That is really weird. And especially like in the positioning of it.
I can just picture him like curled over on his side, almost in fetal, really cozied up. But then you just hear "Meow" with a blow dryer right on his peen. Well, you got one more for
Oh
us?
my God. All right. If our angles look differently, it's because we're so ready to get in the studio because Me and Molly are on a love seat because I have a big couch. This is not my couch. Like, this is not the couch, like, we just sit on. This is, like, the
Yeah.
love seat that came with it that, like, just is normally just has laundry on it. But in the area that we needed to set up to record where we have, like, the curtains and stuff behind us, we couldn't move the big couch over here. I'm about to drag that bitch over here.
We just like to be really
We just
close.
like to be really close to each other, but in this couch, I, like, sink down into it, and so you'll see, like, I'll slowly we have to cut out parts. If it seems like we're clipping it out, it's because because we have to stop, and I also have plantar fasciitis, and so a minute ago, my toes were completely curled back, and I said, "Molly, if that toe hits my shin, we're gonna have to just end the episode
No.
because Imma be hurting." God, I'm falling apart. Okay,
Oh,
so this one is not anonymous. This is okay, first of all, I was gonna tell the story of I was living with Molly and Jackie, and I was dating a married man that I met off of Tinder and did not know that he was married at all. And so that is a story for another time because it's a long one. Little teaser on that one might be something that you have in some coming episodes. Mine, my husband was not on Tinder a lot. Like that's why it took so long for him to swipe back on me. Because I had swiped on him like a couple weeks before he ever even swiped on me. So he was not like every day on Tinder. He would just like do it every now and then when he would get bored, he would go on there. So he had swiped on this girl on Tinder and he was like, she seemed really cool. She's a really, really pretty girl. On Tinder, she was. She was very put together. Just
I like how you
just
said on Tinder she
yeah, on
was.
Tinder, she was very put together, gorgeous girl. And so she was cool too. Like we started messaging and she was, really cool. She was cool, fun and talk, fun to talk to. So we've been talking for like a week at that point. And he said there was no red flags with talking to her. So had gotten off work. He used to work, I think he was at the shipyard at the time, probably. So he would work day shift. He would get off at 2 p.m. So it was still like mid afternoon. And she had gotten off from work, I guess, or was not at work at the time. Anyways, they were around the same, like in the same area. And there was a Whataburger there. And my husband loves Whataburger. I mean, our first date was at Costco. So he was not taking these girls out on traditional dates. That's how unserious he was about dating. His mindset, he was like, we got to really get to know each other before I waste my damn hard-earned money on a steak for you." So he's like, "Hey, well, I'm about to just go grab me a bite to eat at Whataburger. If you're in the area and you want to, meet up or whatever, we can meet up at Whataburger." So she got there before him, and so he said he walked in and she was sitting there, and he was like, "I recognized her, but she looked toe up from the flow up." Like he was like, she just looked like she'd been rode hard and put up wet.
Was it like she just had a rough day at work or
No, he said that, like, it was like she had been going through it, and what I'm about to tell you, old girl had been going through it. So he was like, "But you know what? Everybody has their days." She
Mhm.
was, had, like I think she was, like, cleaning houses or something, so everybody has their their days, and so maybe she was just working hard today, or she's just been going through it. He was like, "Whatever, I'm already here. Like, she's a cool girl. I'll just, I'll sit here and talk to her." Knowing my husband and how his mind works, he was like, "Well, whatever. I'm still about to get the sweet and spicy burger with extra mustard. So
You do
whatever.
whatever you want.
Yeah, you and your ugly ass can sit here and watch me eat this burger."
Oh
So
god.
yeah. So they're sitting there and they get to talking. And she was like, "Okay, so I need to be honest with you about something." And my husband was like, in my mind, I was thinking that you heavily filter your pictures on Tinder. Duh, obviously. So she's like, "All right, so I need to be honest with you about something because if we start like actually seeing each other, like this might come out. And if you haven't already looked me up, like you might find a mugshot." And my husband, he was a different person than he is now. And so my husband is not to judge because he was wild back in the day. So he was like, "All right, well, if the worst thing you got to offer is a mugshot, I got a few of my own, girl. Like we can go shot for shot on that one." So he was like, "All right, I ain't worried about no damn mugshot." And she was like, he said that you could tell that she was like, "Oh no, you're about to be."
Mhm.
But he said that she was so nonchalant about it, and that's how he knew, like, I got to get the hell out of here because he said she started to act kind of erratic. And she was like, "All right, so I'm wanted in Texas. Well, not really wanted, but I'm fighting a case right now." Kind of find out, I think she was wanted. I think she was on the run. "I'm wanted in Texas because I stabbed my fiance, and as he was laying on the floor bleeding out, about to die, I was like, damn, I should probably call the paramedics." So she was either wanted for attempted murder or was fighting an attempted murder case out of Texas for stabbing her fiance and almost killing him. So my husband said, he said, And he said, "I was so pissed because I just got my food."
I
He
gotta
said he
take
said
that
he
to
was, like,
go.
mid-bite when she said it, and he said, like, so picture is like a burger. He was, like, bitten the burger. He was like, "I slowly put the burger down," and he said, I shook my cup and to make it seem like I was out of a drink." And he was like, "Hold on. I need to go refill my cup. I need some more drink." So he gets up with the cup and he passes the trash can, and she's watching him. He passes the trash can, he drops that cup in the trash can, and he ran out to his truck and got in it and
I don't
left,
blame him.
and never he blocked her on everything. He was like he's like, "I like a girl with a little bit of crazy, but hell no."
I would have called and reported. I'd be like, you want to know where she's at?
Yeah, he was like, she was tweaking and on the run, and
Oh
so he
my
was he was
God.
like, yeah, so that was before he met me, so I think we both found each other at the perfect time, and then that's why we're kinda both apprehensive of each other, like, when we first started seeing each other, we were both so apprehensive of each other because 'cause we'd had
Rightfully
such crazy
so.
experiences on Tinder that we were like, "Alright, when's the next shoe gonna drop and this be crazy or, married?" I don't know. So, yeah, so my husband got catfished at a Whataburger
By a felon.
by a felon and got up from the table and just walked straight out and
That's
never looked
incredible.
back.
That's that's a story.
Yep.
That's a good one.
We hope you enjoyed those.
Yes, I did.
Please send in any crazy stories that you have, dating or not, to Don't Tell Our
Yeah,
Moms
any story.
podcast,
I'll tell it.
2025@gmail.com. You can message us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram.
You can leave us a voice note.
Yep. But we're like Kim Possible. Call me, beat me if you want to reach me.
If you want to page me, that's okay.
Yeah. So we have another fun game that we're going to play this week.
I love
Molly
a
loves
game.
a good game and she comes up with them every week. I'm going to give Molly her shout out and credits every week because she comes up with these and it's fun.
I'll give you a shout out. Our personalities work very well together because Kaitlyn is very type A, where she's really good with the scheduling and the planning and the organization and the social media, all of that she
Yeah.
takes care of. And I just kind of work on the creative side because I'm very type B and all over the place. So it meshes very well together.
Yeah.
So kudos to you.
Yep. Kudos to us.
To us.
Yep.
Well, tell them what game we're going to be playing this week,
So
Kaitlyn.
we're going to be playing red flag, green flag. To go along with the dating theme, we're going to each read a couple of things to each other. And the other person's going to tell whether they think it's a red flag or a green flag.
I should have made a yellow flag, but we're gonna red flag, green flag it.
Yeah, we're getting too old for that. Either it's a red flag or it's a green flag.
Yeah.
I ain't got time to try to guess if it's gonna work or not.
True that. I got my flags right here.
All right. So the first one is that they bring their dog everywhere, even places that dogs are not allowed.
I'm gonna say green flag.
That is a green flag.
I don't care.
Yep. All right. So the next one, they whether male or female, open up their shower and they have a 3-in-1.
No explain. I'm not gonna explain.
You should not be washing the top of your head with the same thing you wash the bottom of your ass with.
No. No.
All right. Enough said on that one. Okay. They talk about their exes a lot, but it's all positive.
I'm gonna green flag it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it should be healthy in your marriage or even relationship to be able to talk about, not like constantly, but I think if every now and then, if you like are telling, like, I'm not going to get upset if my husband's telling a funny story and it has to do with like an
No.
ex girlfriend, whatever.
Mm-mm.
All right. Because she wasn't as funny as me. I bet you
And
that.
especially if it's like all positive stuff. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. They laugh at your jokes, but like even when they're not funny and very excessive, like over laugh. Yeah, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our spouses do really good at me and Molly are the funniest people that we know and that most people know. Our spouses included. But my husband tells me, he's like, sometimes I'll be dying on the inside at things that you say, but I gotta keep you humble.
Sometimes Jackie will just give me a look like, "Are you okay?" But I would think what I said is so funny, and she's like,
Yeah.
"What?"
Yeah. They have the same sense of humor, and me and Molly have the same sense of humor.
So yeah,
So the same. Sometimes they'll say something and it'll be like an because they like are both really, really, not that we're not intelligent, but they'll say something they think is funny.
it goes so far over our head.
Yeah, so far over our heads, and so we'll just be like, okay, but then the both of them will just be like, all right. So last one, he kisses his mom on the mouth.
Oh.
No.
even if they don't go that far, I think there is a real hard line in the sand of, like, how much of a mama's boy he is. So,
Yeah.
like, kissing on the mouth is borderline jail time, but, like, even if we, like, run it back some and it's like a
That's
s
getting real Bates
yeah,
Motel.
like, even if we're, like, a super big mama's boy, that's still kind of a little bit of a red flag,
Yeah.
just how much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm.
So, we're about to switch these flags, and I'm gonna read Caitlin some of hers to choose.
Yep.
So, if they only use, like, their hand to wash with a bar of soap, like, no rag, just their hand.
I got on the side of a Black shower,
Mhm.
and I need a washcloth that is damn near sandpaper and multiple washcloths because you should not
That's
be using
who
the same
that's who
one.
taught me about dry brushing before you
Yep.
shower.
I dry brush, I exfoliate, I have a washcloth for various parts of my body, like multiple. Like if you just grip a bar of soap and just put that bar of soap all over your body.
I feel you're just spreading germs around.
Yeah. Mm-mm. No. You can do a loofah. My husband's a grown ass man, but that man loves a loofah. Loves a loofah.
I'm just a rag, like a wash rag.
Yep. Yep.
All right. They reply to text quickly, but only with voice notes. Only voice notes.
I kind of wish we did have a yellow flag on that
Yeah.
because I'm gonna go green flag on that because I love a voice note.
Okay. Okay.
I love a voice note. Yep. What did you think on that one?
I'm pretty neutral on that one.
Yeah.
To be honest, it depends on my mood and how long the voice note is. Because if it's really long, I'm not listening to
Now
that.
I do get
I'll
kind of
be very
frustrated.
honest. I'm not listening to all that.
Yeah, I do get kind of frustrated more so with myself and my phone because sometimes I can't, I'm not a very quick responder. So sometimes the voice note will have expired and then I have
Yeah.
to just be uncomfortable and be like, what did you say?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Yeah, sorry, what did you say? Yeah. So I'm kind of neutral on that one too.
Very good. So they are really good at remembering small details, but they forget really important stuff like your birthday.
No. As someone who celebrates the entire month of my birthday, and I have 2 birthdays because I have a
Mhm.
half birthday, and my husband ladies, raise the bar. My husband has a calendar reminder every year on my half birthday, and that man gets me a half cake. He gets me a present. He tells me first thing because, well, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. If you
Mhm.
know me, you know the story behind that. But I got 2 damn birthdays,
She does.
and he still celebrates me just the same on my half birthday.
As you
So,
should.
red flag, how you gonna forget somebody's birthday? Facebook, if nothing else, will tell you. Shit.
All right. They don't argue, but they don't share any feelings at all. I agree with that one. Red flag.
Arguing in your marriage is healthy
To an extent.
to an extent, but it is healthy.
Okay. This is my last one, but it's a really good one.
Okay.
So it is like the best sex of your life that you've ever had, but they only make like really loud, awkward animal noises the whole time. I agree.
No.
I agree.
Like freaking Tarzan?
No, like they like growl at you and stuff.
I don't, not to be TMI, I don't think it just needs to be dead silent in the room, but also, if you were behind me and you were going, oh, ah,
No, they're just like grunting, like really animalistic grunts and like growling and making like they're just like making really weird animal noises at you, like growls and stuff like that. Not like a monkey,
like beating your chest,
not like moo, like a cow or nothing. Just like
doing a duck call behind you. It's your mating call.
they're just like behind you
Like
banging that
just
deer antlers together.
Oh my God. I wish another bug would come up in this. Oh man.
Ooh,
Whose white tail is it?
we're
Whose white
so
tail is it?
we're so stupid. I hate so bad. Oh, well, that was our
Man, I'm gonna be very honest with you. That like, I don't see how that could be the best sex because
Like, animalistic noises aside, it's the best. But then he does that weird shit.
yeah,
Would you go back
no.
for seconds? If it was, like, the best that you ever had in your entire life, like, you'll never experience that again,
No,
but you
because
have to
I feel
deal.
like I wouldn't be able to get in the mood because I would be anticipating the I would be anticipating that.
It's
So
like
I feel like I wouldn't be able to get even, like, in the mindset to do that, and
it's like that.
I would also not be able to do it in any position that I'd have to look him in the face
He
because
would just be like, "Meow."
or like a wolf howl, like, at the very end, "Alright, woo!" No, hell no.
I'm gonna have a conversation with Randy and beg him to do that.
Do not tell our moms and don't tell my damn husband because he's a fool.
Oh, you
But
just
let me
wait.
find out that we struggle with fertility and I could see when he decides to do the wolf.
Whatever works.
Let me find out. That's the missing piece is that we just haven't been primal.
That might be what it
That
is.
might be what it is. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. So before we go on to the next segment, was that your last one?
Yeah.
Okay. Before we go on to the next segment, I do have to, Aunt Chandra, if you listened this far, I didn't forget about you, girl. So I told on our game last week, we played like the newlywed game, but for best friends. I told the story of my grandmother who was a club bunny for at the one of the Playboy clubs. So my aunt reached out to me, and I'd always just heard the story that and I say this, my grandma was a badass, and she was, and I always looked up to her that she was gorgeous, and she did not care. It was hard for her because they for most of their marriage they lived in St. Louis, and like my grandfather's family was down in Alabama, and they were very like conservative, old school Southern Baptist. And so she comes down, and she was very dark complected because she was Native American or had Native American. And so she got judged a lot. She was proud. I mean, she did a lot of really cool stuff when she was a club bunny. Like my aunt told me stories like not she wasn't just a cocktail waitress or club bunny. She hung out with actors. She played pool a lot. And I don't want to mess it up, but when I told my husband this, so if you know anything about pool, I guess this was just like my husband literally spun his head around and was like, "She what? That's cool." So she beat Minnesota Fats one night at the club playing pool. But in my story, and because I always want to be genuine with you guys, I don't want to like think like it wasn't a made up story. It was
Mhm.
she was like she really was a club bunny, but she was a lot more than that. And I thought I never knew for the longest like how they met. I'd always just heard that they met when she was a club buddy, so I just always assumed that my grandfather hung out at the club. And then I watched the documentary about Hugh Hefner and the Playboy franchise like last year, the year before when it came out, and it talked about how you had memberships to these clubs. So I even remember thinking like I couldn't picture my grandfather like he was also a very soft spoken man. And I don't know, I just couldn't picture like that he would have sat down and filled out a form for the membership for that. Um, and so, like, he would have gone to the club, I'm sure, but, like, going through the process of doing the membership, he was a single dad also at the time, so I it makes more sense now that he wasn't just, like, all the time at this club. He had my mom. And so they got set up on a blind date at a house party for a mutual friend that lived across the street from my grandpa and my mom's house. And my aunt was there, and she was like, it was love at first sight. I was there when they met, and it was love at first sight, and they were crazy about each other, and that I admire her a lot. She was the only grandmother I ever knew, and she was very tough, and she did not give a shit what anybody thought about her, and I get a lot of that from her. She really didn't, and she made those women at the church respect her. She was a badass, and she was way before her time. So,
That's
lot
amazing.
of funny, cool stories with both of them. But I wanted to give that
Yeah,
correction that they didn't meet at the club, that she gave me the backstory of how they actually met. So,
I love that.
yep.
Still so cool. Well, we have one final segment of the night. We've just been on a tangent tonight, so it's a little bit longer,
Yeah.
but that is so
But I
fine.
do kinda like it because it's just been, we've just gone with the flow. Like, I told Molly
Go with
that a
the
minute
flow.
ago. I was like, "I know we're way over time, but, like, I'm also just vibing tonight."
Just
So,
vibing. So for our last segment tonight, switch it up a little bit from our normal unhinged question, and we're going to play Mary Kill.
some would argue that this is about to be way more unhinged than our normal questions have been,
Very true.
so
Very true.
I'm so excited. Alright, I'm gonna let you go first
Okay.
because 'cause I'm excited for yours. I keep looking at myself, like, if you see me keep looking down, I just keep seeing the word glizzy on my computer, like, my computer's in front of us, so I'll, like, catch a glimpse of myself every now and then, I'm like, "What's a big ass hot dog?"
Hot dog.
Yeah,
All right. So my three for you,
okay,
you have to choose from Dog the Bounty Hunter,
okay.
Paul Blart. I don't know his like I can't remember his
Kevin James,
yeah. So
hear me out.
he's your type. Dog the Bounty Hunter, Kevin James, or Dan from Roseanne.
Alright,
So John Goodman, but specifically in like Roseanne.
alright, I'm marrying John Goodman. I'm marrying we all know that. I've even had friends that have texted me and was like, "John Goodman?" From the episode of Hear Me Out, and I was like, "Dan Connor can get it any day."
Yeah.
Dan Connor could whoop Hal, and I would roll with it.
She let
All
it
right.
happen.
So I would marry John Goodman. I'd take Kevin James for a ride. I'd be his king of queens.
Yep.
And Paul Blart specifically, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he could be on that scooter right on over to me. Beep. So,
You did that scooter sound so perfectly.
yeah, I did. I'll be doing all of our sound effects from now on. So if you hear a clip, it's me.
You got
And
the
I would
animal noises down
I'm
pat.
being real honest with you. Like I would kill Dog the Bounty Hunter because he did my girl Beth dirty after she
Yeah.
died. I will never forgive him for the way that has shaken down. So yeah,
Yep.
yeah, I would probably kill Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Okay.
I always think that's so aggressive, especially when it's like a real person. Be like,
I'm gonna
I would kill Dog
I'm
the
gonna
Bounty Hunter. For legal purposes, this is just for the game. I would not actually kill anyone, especially Dog the Bounty Hunter, because he has done good in this world. I'm just very disappointed in the way that you handled Beth's death. Thank you.
That's fair.
Okay.
Your turn.
I'm allowed to be passionate about Dog the Bounty Hunter because I watched every season.
Every
Yes.
I'm ready.
All right. Mary Kill, Trudy from Reno 911, Linda Belcher
Mhm.
from Bob's Burger,
Yeah.
and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh god. Okay. Part of me wants to say marry Trudy because we would have such a good time,
Yes.
but I think
And she has a lot of wet specimens from her serial killer
I
boyfriend.
know.
She has a lot to bring to the table.
I'm gonna have to kill off Linda. I
Okay.
love her, but I'm gonna have to kill her off.
Okay.
I'm gonna marry my girl Jamie Lee Curtis
Okay.
because duh.
Yeah.
And I'll give Trudy a ride. We would have fun for one night and one night only. We would
Yep.
have a great
Hey,
time.
Trudy rocks the hell out of that out of that gown, the
Mhm.
embroidered gown on there.
We'd have a good
I
time.
love Trudy. If you don't
She's my
know,
favorite character.
me and Molly love Reno
Yeah, we
911.
do.
We quote it all of the time. So,
It's one of our
yeah.
favorite shows for sure. But yeah, that's my lineup. So I'd marry Jamie, kill off Linda, and I'd have one real good night with Trudy.
Yep.
Mm.
Mhm. And she'd probably have a couple pills that you could you
Yeah.
you could scoop on the way out.
Yeah, it would be a really good time.
Well, that's all, folks.
That is all. We had a beautiful time with you
Yep.
guys here for episode 6. So we will see you guys next week for our Christmas special. And we will see you guys then.
Ooh!
Bye.
Bye. Kayla, you bye.
Not the wolf.